God's Spirit is in my heart. He has called me and set me apart. This is what I have to do, what I have to do. He sent me to give the good news to the poor, tell prisoners that they are prisoners no more, tell blind people that they can see, and set the downtrodden free, and go tell everyone the news that the kingdom of God has come, and go tell everyone the news that God's kingdom has come. Just as the Father sent me, so I'm sending you out to be my witnesses throughout the world, the whole of the world. He sent me to give the good news to the poor, tell prisoners that they are prisoners no more, tell blind people that they can see, and set the downtrodden free, and go tell everyone the news that the kingdom of God has come, and go tell everyone the news that God's kingdom has come.
As for me, in justice, I shall behold your face, I shall be filled with the vision of your glory. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The grace and peace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you always.
And with your spirit.
My sisters and my brothers, good morning and welcome each and every one of you to the Eucharist, the celebration of the breaking of bread, the celebration of our lives and our faith, the celebration of the center of Jesus in our midst. This Mass is offered for your own good, for your intentions, for the parish intentions, and for all you care and love about. May I invite us to confess now our sins and so prepare ourselves for the mysteries. I confess to Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have greatly sinned in my thoughts and in my words, in what I have done and in what I have failed to do, through my fault, through my most grievous fault. Therefore I ask Blessed Mary, ever Virgin, all the angels and saints, and you, my brothers and sisters, to pray for me to the Lord our God. May Almighty God have mercy on us, forgive us our sins, and bring us to everlasting life.
Amen.
Lord have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Christ have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Lord have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
May Almighty God have mercy on us, forgive us our sins, and bring us to life everlasting. We adore you, we glorify you, we give you thanks for your great glory. Lord God, heavenly King, O God, Almighty Father, Lord Jesus Christ, only begotten Son, Lord God, Lamb of God, Son of the Father, you take away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. You take away the sins of the world, receive our prayer. You are seated at the right hand of the Father, have mercy on us. For you alone are the Holy One, you alone are the Lord, you alone are the Most High Jesus Christ, with the Holy Spirit, in the glory of God the Father. Amen. Let us pray. O God, who show the light of your truth to those who go astray, so that they may return to the right path, give us all, for the faith they profess, are accounted Christians, the grace to reject whatever is contrary to the name of Christ, and to strive after all that does it on, through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God forever and ever. Amen.
A reading from the prophet Isaiah. Thus says the Lord, as the rain and the snow come down from the heavens, and do not return without watering the earth, making it yield, and giving growth to provide seed for the sower, and bread for the eating. So the word that goes from my mouth does not return to me empty, without carrying out my will and succeeding in what it was sent to do. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
The response is, some seed fell into rich soil and produced its crop.
Some seed fell on rich soil and produced a rich crop.
You care for the earth, give it water. You fill it with riches. Your river in heaven brims over to provide its grain. Some seed fell in some rich soil and produced its crop. And thus you provide for the earth and drench its furrows. You level it, soften it with showers. You bless its growth. Some seed fell into rich soil and produced its crop. You crown the year with your goodness. Abundance flows in your steps. In the pastures of the wilderness it flows. Some seed fell into rich soil and produced its crop. The hills are girded with joy, the meadows covered with flocks. The valleys are decked with wheat. They shout for joy, yes, they sing. Some seed fell into rich soil and produced its crop. A reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Romans. I think that what we suffer in this life can never be compared to the glory as yet unrevealed, which is waiting for us. The whole creation is eagerly waiting for God to reveal his sons. It was not for any fault on the part of creation that it was made unable to attain its purpose. It was made so by God. But creation still retains the hope of being freed, like us, from its slavery to decadence, to enjoy the same freedom and glory as the children of God. From the beginning till now, the entire creation, as we know, has been groaning in one great act of giving birth. And not only creation, but all of us who possess the first fruits of the Spirit, we too groan inwardly as we wait for our bodies to be set free.
The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus left the house and sat by the lakeside. Jesus left the house and sat by the lakeside, but such crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat there. The people all stood on the beach, and he told them many things in parables. He said, "Imagine a sower going out to sow. As he sowed, some seeds fell on the edge of the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Others fell on patches of rock where they found little soil and sprang up straight away because there was no depth of earth. But as soon as the sun came up, they were scorched, and not having enough roots, they withered away. Others fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Others fell on rich soil and produced their crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Listen, anyone who has ears." Then the disciples went up to him and asked, "Why do you talk to them in parables?" "Because," he replied, "the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven are revealed to you, but they are not revealed to them. For anyone who has will be given more, and he will have more than enough. But from anyone who has not, even what he has will be taken away. The reason I talk to you, the reason I talk to them in parables is that they look without seeing and listen without hearing or understanding. So, in their case, this prophecy of Isaiah is being fulfilled. You will listen and listen again, but not understand. See and see again, but not perceive. For the heart of the nation has grown careless, and their ears are dull of hearing, and they have shut their eyes, for fear they should see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their heart, and be converted, and be healed by me. But happy are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. I tell you solemnly, many prophets and holy men long to see what you see and did not see it, to hear what you hear and never heard it. You therefore are to hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom without understanding, the evil one comes and carries off what he has sown in his heart. This is the man who received the seed on the edge of the path. The one who received it on patches of rock is the man who hears the word and welcomes it at once with joy. But he has no root in him. He does not last. Let some trial come, or some persecution on account of the word, and he falls away at once. The one who received the seed in tongues is a man who hears the word, but the worries of this world and the law of riches choke the word, and so he produces nothing. And the one who received the seed in rich soil is a man who hears the word, understands it. He is the one who yields a harvest and produces now 100-fold, now 60, now 30. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers and sisters, from farming experience or from agricultural science, we now know that a crop and the soil are very much in symbiotic relationship. A crop quite often never grows in the air. It needs the soil for it to germinate, to grow, and then produce. So it wasn't, therefore, a strange thing, so to say, for Jesus to use what is most common to the human heart, the human stomach, and the human growth, to teach a mystery so deep, so profound about the kingdom of God. In Matthew chapter 13, a passage from a chapter from which today's gospel was taken, has a lot of parables told by Jesus. But the central parable in this chapter has to do with the soul, the family, the relationship, the growth. What then is it saying? It is essential for us to understand the fact that all this, as the theme itself, the parable suggests, is that God wanted us to know that He has always provided abundantly for the good of humanity His gifts. The gifts that are distributed equally, evenly to all humanity according to every individual's abilities. But these gifts that God has given to us will also rest on the ability of each individual to find a rich soil to sow their seeds, for those gifts to multiply and to benefit the individual and benefit the whole community. Here, the soil, the word of God, is the seed. The human heart is the soil. And once the word of God, the seed, comes into a human heart, it is the condition of such a human heart or mind that prompts the word or the seed of God to germinate healthy and so grow healthy and produce healthy fruits. So when the word or the seed is in the human heart or the soil that is already poisoned for many reasons, one reason being the drive, the rat race. I want to conquer this, I want to achieve this, I want to reach this hallmark, I want to get all this. Then when that drive becomes so much in the human heart, the human soil, which is supposed to house the seed of God or the word of God, is already poisoned, and therefore it that situation will not allow for a proper harvest or good fruit to come from that. Another situation could simply be that we, as humans, are so preoccupied with so many things that we run from the left to the right, back and forth, without having a moment to reflect on what is absolutely important. And that is what Jesus was referring to as those who receive the word of God with enthusiasm, but when the real situation comes, prompting them to live out that word of God, they fall apart because they don't have enough time to reflect on the essentials of life. Therefore, they don't have enough roots, and that word dies away. And then the other one is someone who, in the scripture we are told, who simply has all this dried. Yes, I don't know what to do, but here is a seed. How do I sow it? And all of the confusion of the mind and heart prompts such a person not to make a right decision on what to make the good use of the gifts of God. And that person again falls away. In this scenario, for the good soil to house the good seed, to produce a good harvest or a good crops, will require patience. Patience is a word that a mother will best tell. When a mother who is pregnant will know that whatever happens in the womb, she has no choice or has very little choice, but instead will prepare her mind to say, this is the situation now, I have to go through this. And then when the time comes, of course, all through that period of pregnancy, the human world, expects this mother to groan in some discomfort. And so it is. The scripture says, from the beginning, the world itself has grown, waiting for the moment of the salvation. So that when this woman, after all the patient waiting, eventually gave birth to a living human person, the whole growth stops, and joy returns, and hope expands, and all good things look in front of the woman. So it is. Christ is that who came as a seed, eternal seed, into the world, so that in this world, the world will envelop him as the womb of a mother. And in that way, Christ in the womb will nurture not just himself, but the mother. And this mother referring to the earth, and this earth referring to you and I, the human person. And in that way, Jesus will now be the one to refine, to bring joy eternal. But as long as Jesus remains on earth, he is in that womb that groans. So that on the day of his crucifixion, the groan became obvious. Father, Father, why have you forgotten me? But then when Christ now risen from the dead, the whole joy returns unmeasurable, unlimited, unfathomable. The joy that he has given birth, a new life into the human heart, into the human soul, into the human condition. So that the human person now has the ability, has now the hope and the faith to know that they will live eternal life, not here on earth, but hereafter. So my sisters and my brothers, in everything in life, we require that patient waiting for God's own grace to come. It is only in that context of patient waiting that God will enable us to achieve all that He has made possible for us, or He has given to us. Patient is even much more urgently in need now. After all this long lockdown, you go to visit any store now, or supermarket, or grocery store, you can see the human spirit trying to be on the fast lane again. Many simply, unconsciously lose the perception of the 2 meter that required of us to observe. That again plays into the gospel stress that we need to be focused without patient waiting, to know that if I'm so much jump the queue, there's a possibility of something not good happening. Therefore, the need to have a patient waiting. Sometimes you have worked so hard during the day, and then at night you want to kneel or sit or whatever posture you've taken to say a prayer. And you say to yourself, oh, this child is distracting me, this husband or this wife is distracting me, I can't pray because of all this distraction. That is when the discipline of patience is important. Because even in the desert, even in the marketplace, you can be a prayer warrior with all the distractions around. Patience is a key practice and word that you and I need to have to be able to maintain, to nurture, and to live actively the various gifts or seeds or the Word of God that He has given to us. So that as we go on a daily basis, we know that God who has blessed us with those gifts will not abandon us. Let us therefore pray for that patient waiting to enable us to enrich ourselves with faith in actions, in our relationship with God and with one another. May God bless you. Have a wonderful Sunday. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible. I believe in one Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, born of the Father before all ages, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father. Through Him all things were made. For us men and for our salvation, He came down from heaven, and by the Holy Spirit was incarnate of the Virgin Mary, and became man. For our sake He was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He suffered death and was buried, and rose again on the 4th day, in accordance with the Scriptures. He ascended into heaven, and is seated at the right hand of the Father. He will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and His kingdom will have no end. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, the giver of life, who proceeds from the Father and the Son, We pray today to be good ground for the seed, the word of God, to grow strong in us.
The apostles themselves were slow to understand where true riches lie, yet they learned the lesson in time. May we too learn to find our real treasure in the words of Jesus. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
the apostle James and John were like stony ground, full of zeal till danger struck, then they ran away. May we, like them, recover from our failures and become apostles for you, Lord. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
even St. Peter, one time, had the word snatched from his mouth when he had just recognized Jesus as the Christ. May we find forgiveness as he did and go on to be strong. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
dear God, make us good ground to receive your word with open hearts and bring forth fruits of goodness with joy and thanksgiving. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
St. Paul talks today about our groaning in pain, till true freedom is born into our world. May we wait in patient hope for the peace that only God can give. Lord, in your mercy,
Hear our prayer.
in silence for a moment, we pray for the things we really need. Mary, your life was fruitful beyond all your imagining. Hail Mary,
Full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Heavenly Father, may we never give up hope. For like them also themselves, may we go from weakness to strength. And we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Blessed are you, Lord God of our creation, for to your goodness you have received this bread to offer you, fruit of the earth and work of human hands. It will become a bread of life.
Blessed be God forever.
Blessed are you, Lord God of our creation, for to your goodness you have received this wine to offer you, fruit of the vine and work of human hands. It will become our spiritual drink.
Blessed be God forever.
Pray that my sacrifice and yours may be acceptable to God, the Father, the Almighty.
May the Lord accept the sacrifice at your hands for the praise and glory of his name, for our good and the good of all his holy church.
Look upon the offerings of the church, Lord, as she makes her prayer to you, and grant that were consumed by those who believe, they may bring ever greater holiness through the blood of the Son and the power of the Holy Spirit, you gather them again to yourself, that the people formed as one by the unity of the Trinity, made the body of Christ and the temple of the Holy Spirit, might, with the praise of your manifold wisdom, be manifest as a church. And so, in company with the choirs of angels, we praise you, and with joy we proclaim, Holy, 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 Lord God of hosts, heaven and earth are full of your glory. Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. You are indeed holy, O Lord, the fount of all holiness. Make holy, therefore, these gifts of praise that sending down your Spirit upon them like dew fall, so that they may become for us the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. At the time he was betrayed and entered willingly for his passion, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to his disciples, saying, Take these, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body, which will be given up for you. In a similar way, when supper was ended, they took the chalice, and once more giving thanks, he gave it to his disciples, saying, Take these, all of you, and drink from it, for this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many, for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me. The mystery of faith. We proclaim your death, O Lord, and profess your resurrection until you come again. Therefore, as we celebrate the memorial of his death and resurrection, we offer you, Lord, the bread of life and the chalice of salvation. Given thanks that you have helped us, Lord, to be in your presence and minister to you. Humbly we pray that, partaking of the body and blood of Christ, we may be gathered into one by the Holy Spirit, to remember, Lord, your just prayer throughout the world, and bring out the fullness of charity together with Francis, our Pope, Peter, our Bishop, and all the clergy. Remember also our brothers and our sisters who have fallen asleep in the hope of the resurrection, and all who have died in your mercy. Welcome them into the light of thy face. Have mercy on us all, pray that with the Blessed Virgin Mary, Mother of God, with the Blessed Joseph, our spouse, with the blessed apostles and all the saints who have blessed you throughout the ages, we may merit to be good heirs to eternal life, and may praise and glorify you through your Son, Jesus Christ. Through him and with him and in him, O God, Almighty Father, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honor is yours forever and ever. Amen. At the Savior's commandment and formed by divine teaching, we dare to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us, Lord, we pray, from every evil. Graciously grant peace in our days, that by the help of your mercy we may be always free from sin and safe from all distress, as we await the blessed hope and the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours now and forever.
Lord Jesus Christ, say to your apostles, Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. Look not on our sins, but on the faith of your church, and graciously grant her peace and unity in accordance with your will, who lives and reigns always with you.
And with your spirit.
And let's offer to each other sign of us, please. Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world, have mercy on us. Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world, grant us peace. Behold the Lamb of God, behold him who takes away the sins of the world. Blessed those who go to the supper of the Lamb. Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but all is in word, and my soul shall be healed. Act of spiritual communion. Oh, good Jesus, I thank you for coming to redeem me. I wish to receive you sacramentally into my soul and my spirit. Since I cannot now do so, I ask of you to come to me spiritually, to nourish my soul and prepare my heart to receive your word, and strengthen my faith, increase my hope, sustain my health, and bless all those whom I know, who are related to me, who are neighbors, who are friends. I ask always to the same Christ our Lord. Amen. O sacrament most holy, O sacrament divine, all praise and all thanksgiving be every moment kind. O sacrament most holy, O sacrament divine, all praise and all thanksgiving be every moment kind. O sacrament most holy, O sacrament divine, all praise and all thanksgiving be every moment kind. now and always.
Amen.
Amen. The Master said then, go and be disciples of faith.
Thanks be to God.
Have a wonderful